Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I welcome you all in my class. This is your English class and I'm your subject teacher, Fauzia Naz. Today we have to start with the poem If. That is the third part of the unit 3. And this poem is written by Rudyard Kipling. He was born in 1865 and he died in 1936. He was an English journalist, short story writer, poet and novelist. He was born in India and he was inspired much of which inspired much of his work. Kipling's work of fiction include The Jungle Book, Kim, and many short stories, including The Man Who Would Be King. So, with this Indian background, that English person who was really influenced by India, he you can see in many of his books that Indian background. So over here you can see the number of the books I listed over here, the poems and the short stories that he had written down. And among all these, you may be familiar with Mowgli's brother, excuse me, with Baba Black Sheep. So these are very popular and very known short stories written by Rudyard Kipling. And here is the poem that is included in your text. I'm going to read the whole poem for you so that you people will be able to understand what you wanted to say in the poem. After that, we will have the explanation and the theme and the main points of the poem will be discussed in the later part. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, do not deal in lies, or being hated, do not give way to hating, and yet don't look too good, nor talk too wise. So you can see over here the use of if time and again. So with that word if, the condition comes into your mind. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you have spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to, broken and stood, and build them up with worn out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it all on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss, if you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that is in it, and which is more, you will be a man, my son. So in this Rudyard Kipling's poem, If, he lists a set of conditionals for the speaker's son to follow in order to become an ideal man. So all these are the piece of advices that he had given to his son in order to become an ideal man. He advises his son about how to perceive the world and life's challenges so that he can both learn from his experiences and resolutely overcome the barriers. This is a life, and life, it's full of ups and downs. Life is not only the bed of roses, life is full of thorns as well. We have the challenges in this life as well. So when you people face some challenge, then definitely you have to face it with some firm faith, and you have to deal that challenge. Otherwise, what would happen? You will become the failure. So over here, the speaker, he advises his son that how to perceive the world and life's challenges in order to learn from it and in order to overcome such barriers. So what is the main idea or the main key that he wanted to give to the listeners, to the readers, and to his son? The main key to lead a satisfactory life is to remain balanced, right? Need not to be so furious, need not to be so doubtful, need not to be so weak. One has to remain balanced. One should deal with ups and downs in life with an undisturbed mind. Definitely, when these ups and downs comes in one's life, that disturbs man's mind. When you are at the upper position, you become more boastful, you become more conceited. When you people are at the down levels of your life, then you people are definitely lose the patience, then you blame the others, then you people are losing the confidence. So what does he say? That you need to deal these ups and downs of life in with an undisturbed mind. Then we should have confidence and patience to handle any situation. Okay, we are born as human, and definitely humans, they have the capabilities, they have the strength to deal with any kind of situation. So what he suggests to us, to his son, to the people, that we need to deal all the situations with confidence and with patience. So this one is stanza 1, and we have the explanation of this stanza. If we go through with the stanza, if we read the stanza again, if you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired of by waiting, or being lied about, do not deal in lies, or being hated, do not give way to hating, and yet do not look too good, nor talk too wise. So he says us, or he offers us his opinion on how to operate during times of crisis. He urges readers that when the things gets difficult and things stop to work in our favor, we must not lose our composure and deal with the situation and hand in a calm fashion in order to salvage it. It is human nature to save oneself the blame uh, for failures and put it on others. And we usually do this thing, that when we fail, when we lose some game, we put the blame on others shoulder. We don't want to take that weight, or we do not want to take that blame on our shoulder. The poet asks us to combat this basic human frailty. So this is our weakness actually. When we are weak from inside, when we are not confident, then definitely we put all the blames onto the other's shoulders. We will not be ready to take the blame or the failure on our own shoulders. So he says that this is human frailty. We human are basically weak from inside, and harbor within ourselves the courage to take responsibilities for our actions that have produced the undesired results, right? Just like Jameson did during the raid. So, what does poet suggest? That when you people fail in something, you need not to lose your composure, you need not to lose your self control, you need to handle the situation in a very calm fashion in order to save it, in order to save yourself. So you need not to play the blame games, you need to take the responsibility of that failure, and you have to overcome that human frailty, or you need to harbor, you need to cherish within yourself the courage to take the responsibility of your action. Either it produce a good result or undesired results. So over here, that Jameson's raid, this example is given, that was the cause of the Boer War, and but that Jameson's had taken the responsibility. During times of crisis, it is expected that the people are going to lose their rationality and indulge in blame games. The poet urges us not to give in to the same. He asks us to garner enough confidence to believe in oneself and our potential, even if the others around us have given us up on us. Hence, we see that self faith is a virtue which Kipling puts forward with high regard. However, the poet warns us against getting overconfident. Yes, the second thing that he want to emphasize is that do not be overconfident, right? ये नहीं है कि आप you are ready to take the responsibility of your failure, but with all that you have become overconfident and imprudent. Rigid हो जाए, ओके अच्छा ठीक है, जो कुछ हो गया, whatever is done, means you are ready to take the responsibility of your failure, but with all that you have become overconfident. अब उससे you are not going to learn anything, or either you are going to become more rigid. So what does he want from us? वो क्या कहता है कि we need to gather enough confidence in order to believe in ourselves. हमें अपना यकीन, अपना ऊपर भरोसा रखना है कि भी we had taken the risk of doing something, and if we fail into it we need to accept it in a good way, rather to become a rigid person, right? He says we must have confidence but not blind faith in ourselves, as the latter will stop us from giving areas to the valuable suggestions and recommendations of others, right? अगर हम फेल हो जाते हैं और हम ओवर कॉन्फिडेंट हो जाते हैं, हम रिजिड हो जाते हैं, तो डेफिनेटली वी विल नॉट बी एबल टू लर्न फ्रॉम आवर फेलियर. ठीक है, हमें जो इस फेलियर के बाद जो वैल्यूएबल सजेशंस मिलती हैं, जो रिकमेंडेशंस मिलती हैं, दैट पेव द पाथ फॉर आवर बेटर फ्यूचर, तो हम जो है वो उससे महरूम हो जाएंगे. इफ़ वी विल बिकम रिजिड देन डेफिनेटली वी विल नॉट follow the instructions, we will not follow or see the right path, and in that very way we would lose. So in other words, we must make enough room in our heads for opposing ideas from others if they seem lagged. अगर हमें दूसरों के आइडियाज़ अच्छे नज़र आते हैं तो we let those ideas, we welcome those ideas, and we should give those ideas a space into our mind. So over here we have the second stanza: if you can make a dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you have spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken and stood and build them up with worn out. So over here he imparts a very valuable lesson. He says that success and failure are part and parcel of life, and there is nothing permanent about them. And you people all understand this thing. अभी तक आप 16 years के हो चुके होंगे, 17 years के हो चुके होंगे. You people have learned at least this thing, that life is not a bed of roses. It's not smooth and with one pace we go on with life. Just happiness comes in your life. No, this success and failure, happiness and sorrows, these are the part and parcel of life. There is nothing permanent in the world. So the poet calls them impostors, pretenders, since both success and failure are powerful and have a disguise of permanence which makes a person feel either too optimistic or broken down. Doesn't it happen with you people? When you people are so happy, you people become feels that you can rule the world, you can do anything, you become very much confident about yourself, and you become very optimistic as well. But when someone fails in life, then one breaks down, and one feels that life is not suitable for him and he must quit. Such negative feelings comes into one's mind. So the poet recommends his readers to treat both the success and failure in the same way and not let them get to us, since both of them are as fickle as the wheel of fortune. And very interesting and very good advice that he had given to us, that these both the things, success and failure, they comes in one's life. These are the part and parcel of one's life. Both of them they do occur in one's life. So these are taken as the wheel of fortune. ठीक है, व्हील घूमता रहता है ना, तो उस घूमने में क्या है, समटाइम द sorrows comes in one's life, sometimes the happiness comes in one's life, right? Then he tells us that the road to attaining one's goal is never an easy one and is filled with hurdles to be encountered with, such as people who might try to break our moral by misconstruing our righteousness and virtue in a way that can be used against us. Okay, and then if you want to achieve your goal, if you want to reach to your destination, the way to the destination will be full of hurdles. You will encounter many negative forces that will definitely misunderstand you, that will challenge you. And if you are self-confident, if you are you believe in yourself, if you have faith in yourself, then you will challenge all those negative forces, and you will go on with your same faith towards your destination. The poet asks us not to let the mind games of such people hinder you. So these are actually the mind games that tries to stop you from your destination. On our path to success, we might have to encounter failures. We might wipe away everything that we have achieved. Definitely, when you have set some goal, when you people try to reach to your destination, when you try to hunt your aim, on the way you will come across many difficulties, many problems, many challenges. If you are resolute, if you are firm, then you will handle all those challenges with a balanced mind, with your confidence. And if you quiver, if you would not be able to handle such problems, then definitely what would happen? You will fail in life. The poet's words of advice for such a misfortune is never give up. He asks us to develop within ourselves our potent power of creation, and that upon facing even the most brutal failures, we can start from scratch again. So he advises us that from the scratch, from the zero, you can start again if you are powerful or if you are self confident. Then we have the third stanza: if you can make a heap of all your winnings and risk it all on one turn of pitch and toss and lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss, if you can force your heart and never and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. So in this stanza, he says that if you take all of your hard earned successes and lose them all because of one risk, you should be willing to start again despite all your failures, because taking chances is a part of life, and it is important to step out of your comfort zone once in a while. Yes, you have to come out of your comfort zone. If you want to be the doctor, if you want to be a successful person in life, then what you have to do, you have to come out of your comfort zone. People, they prefer to sleep more, people prefer to be want to live an easy and comfortable life. No, in order to get your aim, in order to get success in life, one has to come out of one's comfort zone. Then the fourth one is: if you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, not lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that is in it, and which is more, you will be a man, my son. So here is the key to success. What is that? Let's have the reading of the explanation. The final stanza, the poet discusses the ideal modus operandi in life after success has been attained. What is modus operandi? That is the method in life after success has been attained. Since they are the poet's final instructions to the readers, the lines are resplendent with poignancy and are worded in a way which infuses our mind with a rush of inspiration. So, what does poet want to say over here? He says that a great man is someone who fits into all sections of the society seamlessly. He urges his readers to move around with the common masses without letting go of their individuality. राइट अगर वो बादशाह के साथ चल रहा है तो ही नीड्स टू अंडरस्टैंड हिज ओन पोजिशन सो इफ़ ही हैड बीन समवेयर दैट हिज सक्सेस हैड टेकन हिम टू तो वहाँ पे पहुँच के ही नीड नॉट टू बी so proud and so conceited about one's success. One should behave like a common man. So over here he advises him that this is the ideal method in life when the success has been attained, that one has to understand that he is a human being, one has got the success. It is all because of that Almighty Allah, and one need to understand this thing that that life is full of challenges, life is full of problems and worries. One has to overcome such problems and worries, and one has to he has to fit into all sections of the society seamlessly. Human tends to go with the flow because of the herd mentality. However, the perfect man is the one who will not follow any rat race or trends blindly and will stand out in spite of being a part of the crowd. Next, the poet warns us about the arrogance that often comes with great success. He asks us to vary of the heart rumbling effects of the success and motivates us not to let go of our compassion or become too proud upon being accepted into the finest rungs of the social ladder है उसमें आप एक एक रंग को एक एक स्टेप को चढ़ते चले जाएंगे and you will reach to the peak, to the height, and there you need not to become the part of that rat race, or you need not to follow the trends blindly, or you will stand out instead in spite of being a part of the crowd. What Kipling wants to tell us is that success is only palatable and meaningful if it is in a nexus with modesty. ठीक है, सक्सेस उसी वक्त एक्सेप्टेबल है, मीनिंगफुल है when there is some modesty. The poet further adds that true success can only be attained if one reaches such a point in life that neither friends nor foes can cause her in a way that reduces one productivity. अपने ऊपर, चाहे वो दोस्त है दुश्मन है, उसके कमेंट से अपनी प्रोडक्टिविटी पे कोई बात या उस पे कोई फ़र्क नहीं आना चाहिए. That is all for today, students. We will do the theme as well as the question answers in the next lecture. Thank you very much.